going on, you guys? Welcome back. Hope you're having an incredible week. Thank you so much for tuning in for another video. If you're new here, what's up? I'm Jordan. I'm so happy to have you. You're tuning into a Boss Babe episode. So I've got an entire playlist on my channel. I'll link below, helping you guys with anything I've learned over the years throughout bettering my credit, organizing, budgeting, anything really, how to be a complete boss babe and support yourself without the help of anyone else, whether that be you want to ride solo on your own financially and maybe get your own place without the help of a partner, or maybe you're a little bit younger and you want to move out of your parents' house. Maybe you need help with budgeting, organizing, time management, anything like that. I'm your girl, so thank you so much for being here. Today's video, I asked you guys on Snapchat what the next Boss Babe episode you would like to see is, and so many of you said bettering your credit. And that leads me to think a lot of my followers on Snapchat may be relatively new, because I did already put up a Boss Babe episode, how I bettered my credit over 300 points. Real tips and steps that I personally took. A few years ago, my credit was in the 400s, which sounds a little embarrassing and crazy to say that I let it get that bad. I did share some bills with a significant other, and then, you know, we were both supposed to pay our certain halves of everything, and that didn't happen, and I had to repay back a lot of that stuff over the years, so my credit got pretty bad there, but it's up in the high 700s now, which I'm so incredibly happy about. So if you need a really big credit repair like that, I will link that video down below. There's a lot more in-depth steps, but in today's video, I'm gonna share with you guys how I got my credit better over 100 points within the first 30 days that I was trying to repair it. So maybe you only need to get yours better 100 points, or maybe you're just on the journey of starting to repair the whole thing and you don't even know what to do for this first month. So I'm here to help you guys. So the very first thing I would say is you need to make sure you know exactly where your credit score is at, exactly what is on your report, and what is your debt to income ratio. So you guys know in tons of other videos I've mentioned I personally use a website called Credit Sesame. It's totally free, and it's one of the only sites you can go on to check your score that does not ding you. If you do check your score on certain other sites multiple times a year, it will bring your score down a few points every time you check, and we do not want that. With Credit Sesame, there is no fee to get on there and find out your exact score. They also have tabs showing, you can click on like the accounts tab. Like for me, it'll show my car payment, my credit card. I don't think I have anything at all in collections right now because I've like cleaned all that up, but it'll show all collections if you have any medical bills, student loans, everything is on there listed out for you, and you can print it out to just like go over and realize the exact dollar amount that you owe. It'll also show your debt to income ratio, so whatever type of money that you make, as long as you have a job that like isn't under the table or anything, like through a friend that goes through the government where you get regular checks, it'll estimate what your monthly payment is over like how much monthly bills you have. It'll factor in your car payment and everything like that. It tells you how many on-time payments you have and how many late payments you have. It'll give you a grade from like A to F, and it'll just give you an overall credit score. So maybe if you're younger and you don't know how important credit score is, whew, girl, you can't do anything in life without a good credit score. To get a car, to get your first apartment, anything like that, really good interest rates on anything that you want, you do need to have an average to incredible credit score. So hop on Credit Sesame, I'll link it down below. With that link, it'll be totally free for you guys. You can check out where you're at, and they do also give you specific tips and steps to take to better the credit, but I would at least pull up the accounts tab and find out to the exact dollar what you owe in collections versus how much you make a month. So for me, the very first step that I took when I decided I really wanted to get serious and rebuild my credit within the first 30 days, that helped me to increase my score over 100 points, is I printed out my report, I looked at all the debt I had, and I actually had a student loan that was over $6,000 for living in the dorms in college. And that was something that my parents told me if I wanted to have a single room dorm and I didn't want to have like a roommate or anything, they're like, you're gonna pay for that. And at the time I was like, oh, it's fine, I got it. And then years later, I was stuck with that. So my biggest debt that I had in collections was my student loan. I didn't pay on any of it for so long, which was really bad of me. That's a major tip I have. Don't just ever pay zero on something and just like let it go, because your score will get worse and worse. And student loans and medical, I think some people think those don't affect your score, but they actually do. So a major tip that I have is I was looking at that paper, looking at that huge amount of debt, and I was thinking, this is so much, I don't have any money to pay this, so I'm just not gonna pay anything. And that is not good. The first tip I have is to call up My credit loan was through VSAC, Educational Department, so I had called them up, told them at the time I was still in school, I was working 2 jobs at Radio Shack and American Eagle, wasn't making too much because I pretty much all my pay was going to living at the dorms, but I called up and I got on a payment plan. So even though I couldn't pay, you know, $500 a month or pay off like half the loan or the whole loan at once, called them up, told them my situation. I said, I could pay this amount, even whether that's 50 bucks a month, you guys, even 20 bucks, 100, whatever you can afford. If you call up and talk to a specialist, who deals in the financial department with what you owe, usually if they're really nice and you're nice back to them, they will report to the credit agencies that you're at least paying a little bit every month and that you're on a payment plan. So that will at least put you from the red into the green on that specific loan. So I know my student loan was dragging down my entire credit score like maybe 50 to 100 points in and of itself. And as soon as I called and was on a payment plan, within 30 days, because every type of collections do report to all 3 credit bureaus within every 30 days. Some are 30 to 60, but most I've encountered are 30. I made sure to ask on the phone. I was like, can you please report to Experian, TransUnion, that I'm now on a payment plan? I think I was only paying like 70 bucks a month, and she was really cool. She left a note. Next time I pulled up my score on Credit Sesame, it had showed that that account was no longer delinquent, and that was huge, and that did increase my score. Also, huge tip with that, late payments on your credit report count as a horrible derogatory mark. You don't want to have any late payments possible. So when you're first calling up to make that payment plan, whether it's on a student loan like mine, or you have a huge medical loan, or just something that you need to start making a dent in, while you're on the phone, tell them you want to be put on a continual payment plan where it comes out automatically every month, and just make sure that you have that money in your account, whether that's 50 bucks or 70. You got to sacrifice some shopping, some new shoes, going to the movies. Trust me, you guys, you want this on a continual, okay, I couldn't think of the phrase. It's called automatic payment. Make sure that once you get on the payment plan, you give them your bank account number, Visa card, whatever, and stay on auto pay. Just trust me. As long as you can make sure you've got that money in there, that's gonna make sure you don't have any late or derogatory marks here on forward, because it'll always come out on time. The next tip, which probably should have been first, because this helped my score the most, I believe, getting a secured credit card. You may be in the position right now where you're younger and you don't have any credit, or your credit is pretty poor and you're like, shit, I can't get approved for any credit cards like Capital One, Discover. Your score's not even there yet for them to approve you. Get a secured card. And a secured card is specifically for people with poor credit or with no credit. So you can go into your bank. For example, I have Wells Fargo, and you can ask them for a secured card. Or I also had a secured card probably like 2-ish years ago from Capital One. Just go to CapitalOne.com. You can apply right on their website. And a secured card is you using your own money. So basically, you'll sign up for the card, they approve you no matter what. I think no matter like how poor your score is, because you're just using your own money. Whenever you swipe that card at the store to use it, it's gonna pull the money from your savings account or your debit account, whatever you've set up. But this dramatically improves your score because it puts another card, like account, on your credit report, kind of like how you'll see on Credit Sesame all the accounts you have open, and it will always show that it's paid off and that you're never in debt with it, because you're basically just using your own money that you have. So as long as you never overdraw your savings or your debit account, and when you go to use that card, you've got those funds already like in your regular bank account, then you'll have absolutely no problem paying that off every single month. You'll have no derogatory marks, and that will just drastically improve your credit. I believe I had my secured card for like 1 to 3 months, and it already had improved my score so much. All right, so my next tip is absolutely incredible, but it requires some teamwork. You're gonna need some real good homies or some friends or family, preferably someone you're really close with, because I wouldn't really share my financial info with anyone unless I was like real close with them. But basically, you want to find someone else who has a credit card they've had for a very long time, because long-standing accounts that have been paid on time over a long period of time look amazing on your credit report. So for example, I had my mom. She had a Target card for like over 5 years, never one late payment, and she called up and put me on there as an authorized user. So I didn't actually use the card. She just kept using it for her purchases for groceries or clothes, but she paid it off on time with more than the minimum payment every month. And because I was on there as an authorized user, that counted as amazing, like positive points on my credit report. So every time she paid it off, it actually reflects on my credit score as well. So that's a really good one. If you have a mom or dad who you can hit up and you're like super close with and they'll trust you, and you can get them to call and add you as an authorized user, as long as they don't make any late payments all the good payments they do make will reflect on your score, and that will boost up your score so fast. And my last tip for this specific video is to just keep your credit card balances super low. And I know this might seem like common sense, but something amazing my mom always taught me is, she's like, if you can't actually afford something with the current money you have in your debit account, then you can't afford it. She's like, don't put it on your credit unless you know in your mind 1,000,000% you will have the funds to then go in and pay it off. One of the best things I ever started doing was just using my credit card. I just literally have one. That's another tip. Don't get too many. You do not need to go crazy. I literally use it for gas, for food. If I happen to leave my debit card or my cash at home, it's like my emergency card. So I just put very small purchases on there to keep my balance super, super low. Then also when it does come time to pay it, whatever the minimum payment is, you want to pay a little bit more if you can. Even if it's just $5 or $10 more, because that will eliminate the interest and it will help you to pay off the full balance so much quicker. So overall, those are the top 5 things I personally did when I very first started repairing my credit, and I noticed a difference in my credit score of over 100-point increase within the first month, which I think is really good. It's very fast because usually to rebuild a credit score or build one up from nothing does really take time. So just stick with it if you're in the process and you're having to forego other things you want to buy in order to pay old shit off from old mistakes. That's okay. We've all made mistakes in the past. I know I did. I ran up my very first Wells Fargo real credit card, had a $1,000 limit. You know, your girl went to the mall and I spent that shit so quick. But I've just also learned over time, having your budgeting and your finance situation together to where you can afford stuff and you finally start building a savings account. Let me tell you guys, especially with me having a son, knowing that I could financially support him all on my own, there is no better feeling. So I really encourage you guys to just get it together, even if you're in a really poor spot where you feel your credit is so low and you're like, shit, this is gonna take forever. Just at least get the process started. You can make a huge improvement in your score within the first month. So I really hope these tips help you guys. Please sign up for Credit Sesame. It's totally free. They're gonna help you out. They give you a full detailed report. They've been great, a great resource for me for over 2 years. And I've also noticed when I've printed out my report on Experian and compared the two, they're super similar. Their report is very detailed. They don't just catch surface stuff. So they go really in depth with your score, which is awesome. So I always have their link down below for any of my subscribers to check their credit score and their accounts and all that stuff for free. So I got you guys. I really, really hope you did enjoy this video. If you're new to my channel, check out my other Boss Babe videos. I'll link them below. And if you want to see something other than Boss Babe, I do have makeup videos and vlogs with my son and other things. I would love to have you be a part of the YouTube fam. But I really hope this video was resourceful for you guys. I hope you have an incredible week. Come check me out on my social media if you would like. I get back to so many of you over there, and I have a whole little other social media, more tight-knit fam. Not tight-knit, YouTube is tight-knit. What am I saying? I feel super close with you guys over there because I'm able to respond back to so many of you. So I'd love to have you on Instagram and Snap and all that good stuff. So have an incredible week. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.